Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wonderful people, and welcome to Let's Talk TV. As we all know, this is Let's Talk TV. And if you're not conversant with what we do here on Let's Talk TV, then you've not been following us. I will urge you to subscribe to this channel, turn on the notification for you to know what we do here on Let's Talk TV. We only discuss about Biafra. So it is either you are a lover of freedom or you're not. And that brings me to the talk of the day. The man you're seeing on your screen here is Dr. Damages, as they popularly call him. Funny enough, he's an Igbo man. And before the end of this show, you will get his full name. Now, Dr. Damages have actually, well, for me, he's one of his platform is a huge platform, and is one of the big boys bloggers, in the world. Yeah. He's not based in Nigeria. I think he's based in US or something. But that is not the issue. We're not here to talk about his profile, or to know him better. Now, for the past few days, a lot of talks have been coming concerning Dr. Damages, and these talks and issues and controversies have actually led to another exposition on Dr. Damages. I'm going to be dropping an audio, a brief, important audio for every Biafran on this man, Dr. Damages, and you'll be shocked, after listening to it. Well, it might not find, those who love Dr. Damages might not find it funny, but the question I will always ask is, why do Dr. Damage invite, relevant, staunch Biafrans into his shows? We all know that Dr. Damages do not support Biafran struggle. He has never been in support of it, not during the time of Ojukwu, not during the time of Ralph Wazirike, not during the time of Mazen Amdekano, and now not during the time of the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá Njoko. The big question is, if you do not support Biafran struggle, then you have no business having these relevant men who have fought and stood for Biafra into your shows just for you to make a caricature of them. And at the end, they encounter issue. Check what happened to Mazen Amdekano. At least let's talk about the ones we know fully well. I don't want to go into Ralph Wazirike and Odumegwu Ojukwu. I don't want to go into Ojukwu, the great Ojukwu, and I don't want to go into Ralph. Let's focus on Mazen Amdekano and Simon Èkpá. It was also after the interview this man had with Onyendo Mazen Amdekano. Later on he had issues. He later had issue, encountered issue, and currently he's been incarcerated in DSS detention in Nigeria. Also, few freaking days. I think the last interview that Simon Èkpá graced was this man's interview. When I heard about that interview, I wasn't in support, but hearing from the side of the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá Njoko, yes, as a leader, you do not expect everybody to love what you do. You must have haters. And as a leader, you must take every necessary means to create awareness to your people and those who do not love you. Because there are those who do not even follow your platform. They are in other platforms that might love what you're doing, but are not graced enough to hear, what you have to offer. And that was why the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá Njoko graced this platform, this huge platform, because take it or leave it, the Damages have one of the hugest platforms on social media on YouTube. And that is just a fact. So that was the major reason Dr. Damages, the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa graced his show. And few days, I think 3 days after that, the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa was taken for questioning until today that we heard a good news about the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. But that's not what we're talking about. If you want to know the good news, then you check the last video I posted. You will see the video of the good news, of the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa Njoko. And now, Biafrans are shouting and screaming concerning this particular invite of the Chief of Staff, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, to Dr. Damage's show, which is actually meant to be held, to come up on Monday. Look at them. You look at the flyer. It's actually online. It's everywhere online, and so many Biafrans are saying no to this. I want you to listen to this voice note so that you understand why people are shouting and why people are saying no to this invitation.
To Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. Madam, I am not happy about this. I have heard that again. Rudolph Okonkwo, the man they called Dr. Damages. I heard again that he has invited you to his platform. Madam, my question is this. Please be careful. Nigeria is up to something. Those who are supporting Nigeria, they are up to something. These guys who are inviting you, if you think they are working by themselves, then you are making a mistake. Them say when something happens once, it's an accident. If it happens twice, a coincidence. But if it happens 3, 4, 5, then there is something in there. Madam, with all due respect, please, I won't tell you not to go for the interview. I will tell you to do your research. Think twice before you attend the interview with this man they call Rudolph Okonkwo. He is a lover of one Nigeria. He believes in one Nigeria. Not only that, go to his platform, watch his videos. Some of the videos are like 7 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours. His panelists, see the way they speak. They hate Simon Ekpa with a passion. They hate we the Biafrans with a passion. They don't believe in us. Madam, please, this interview coming up on the 13th of January, on a Monday. Please be careful. That's all I will say. Mind you, the one they call the so-called lobby team, he said he was browsing the internet. He saw the Biafra Republic government in exile. He contacted us via email. Simon Ekpa now spoke with him. Today, that same person now is working with Oge Nkere. You don't know who planted the one they call Elias Garasolis into the movement. The next thing we saw Simon Ekpa in an interview with Rudolph Okonkwo, the one they called Dr. Damages, an idiot in America who love Nigeria so much because he has made a lot of money in America. That's why those selfish idiots out there, they love Nigeria because they have a selfish interest. They want to go back to Nigeria to become billionaires. Madam, be careful. Think about it before you attend that interview with him. Because Obatobi himself, there were some questions they were asking him in the interview he went to. There were some questions they asked Obatobi in the interview he went to in this guy's platform, where they asked him, in your absence, who is the second in command? Rudolph Okonkwo asked him that question. In your absence, who is the second in command? Obatobi took his time and he tried to beat about the bush. He tried his best not to give the answer. There were some other questions they asked. But suddenly, in the private meeting that we saw, the video of the private meeting, Sonny Akparawa said, and I quote, Obatobi, now that you have told us that in your absence, the chief of staff is the one that is responsible for everything, that leads everything. We didn't know before. Now that we know, we shall continue that way. Since you have told us she is the one second in command to take care of the programs and every other thing. What he did was to try to qualify the notion that you will be the second in command. Madam, that's why they've been attacking you all this while. If you don't know, madam, well, I know you know the reason why they're attacking you. Their plan was to get you out of the picture. So that now that Obatobi is having this problem, the one who will now be the so-called acting prime minister will now be Oge Nkiri. But we thank God that Obatobi did not go with them to suspend you or to sack you from the government. That is why when they did their first plan to get Obatobi locked up, they tried to come with a quick election through their CRC, which again, you were able to foil that and
asked him whether he considered establishing a government in exile when the Biafran War ended. In March of 2014, I first interviewed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of IPOB. In that interview, he made his now famous declaration.
If we can broadcast so that the whole world can hear us every blessed day, if we are in over 70 countries around the world with over 5 million listeners, there is nothing we cannot do. This time around, things are very, very different, believe you me. Very, very different, and very soon the world will hear about it. Because the only language that people in the zoo understand is the language of violence and force. After all, that very contraption was put together by Freddy Lugard by force. That's one thing people don't understand. That Lugard killed people to bring Nigeria together. And the killing of people to disintegrate the zoo shouldn't come to anybody as a surprise. Our promise is very simple. If they fail to give us Biafra, Somalia will look like a paradise compared to what will happen to that zoo. It is a promise, it is a pledge, and it's also a threat to them. They must understand this, that we've had enough of this nonsense. These criminals cannot be stealing money belonging to everybody.
I've since interviewed Nnamdi Kanu twice, including this sit-down in New York City in June of 2019.
2019.
This question all the time. When we meet dignitaries and officials and government and functionaries all over the world, they always ask us, are you sure there are Biafrans in America? I had a meeting in DC, and I said yes. He said, but we don't know them. Who are they? So it is very, very important that the people you claim you are fighting for actually come out to say that you are fighting for. I cannot go to see the U.S. government without being introduced by our people. So for me to make my contact official or what we are doing official with the U.S. government, we need our people to come out in solidarity on the 3rd of July of next year to say that yes, we have given IPOB the mandate to speak on our behalf. So that is what that very much represents in essence.
And since Nnamdi Kanu's kidnapping in Kenya and rendition to Nigeria on June 27th, 2021, our next guest has assumed the leadership of the Biafran movement from Helsinki, Finland. Some say he has taken the movement in a different direction. On December 2nd, 2024, he plans to declare once again the Republic of Biafra. Today, I'm pleased to welcome to the show Mazi Simon, Èkpá, the Prime Minister.
Shut up. Now, this man, even platform, a journalist think we bend the name agitation. No. Now bling if down one after the other. Wazirike, or bling down. Ojuku, or bling down. Our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or bling down. Simon Èkpá, or bling down. Also gonna have your Guinea. Did they even also have a yado? Did they even also want to have a yado? Or the bad luck, also never have Guinea do. A mammy was your Also now we have bad luck, because I have bad luck.
Let me get first the elephant in the room out of the way, which is that
let me get first the elephant in the room out of the way. I don't know the reason why because the elephant in the room out of the way. Elephant, you know, when I'm an elephant, a small, elephant with a very big animal. Nke that na like this in so body. I want to take first elephant in the room out of the way. So mama, let us follow him and hear him. Mana why oji we make that comment? Because when we comment mmadu kwesiri ime mgbe kwesiri no comment on na batara no mgbe comment ahe kwesiri bata there is a problem. Kai gain into maybe no ya another thing.
When you put out the notice that you were coming on the show, a lot of your people were against you coming.
Okay.
They say things like that.
We now, I don't even know and they don't win, no. Winner. I say go they win forever. Winner. Uno live this man uku. Biafran sound like in this interview. This man. You see, and the same thing kind of protest again for our chief of staff at this interview. You see, man obato be again Biafran sente. Because so feel not carry the okoko. He don't know. Kimanka, Imankozo. It's true. Oh, we're going to know just interview. He have plan to go here. But this man, him about be interview, there is something fishy. We don't want to this man to insult him. And all that insult Kaina well also. And I have but here also. Because they really insult him that place. You see him now. Now gente.
You shouldn't come here to grace this platform that I'm a nefulefu, that I felt
he was serious fulefu, even a fulefu kagemma. Ebendo mundi was ni we fulefu. Oh ule somebody now who's a damage. Oh ule fulefu. If you on a ebo munegis ni we fulefu, man 100% a fulefu chef. Doesn't he we fulefu safe? Man abona puku dozo. Kediki is nature no mother and a boy here to say no way fulefu. Somebody worse than a fulefu cannot way fulefu. Eh? You nekata no mother and no utolona ni boy a fulefu. On arch one arch. When you do worse than a fulefu, umundibu kenonte.
That they must love you so much. They are protecting you from what?
Well, you see, now I love Robert too much, and how they protect you from who? Now they get it. I hope my chief of staff, you understand what we are saying. Then they get it.
You know, these are people who have gone through a lot.
Okay.
And because you, as a Biafran, and I believe that if Biafra become an independent state today, you cannot be, ostracized from being a Biafran, right? So automatically you fall into Biafra. So, and for people like you that have platforms, which should be in the forefront of this freedom movement, and you are not doing enough according to them. So they believe that, I shouldn't come here. But, as a leader, I think differently, and I make decisions differently. So I am here also for their best interest.
Okay.
It is because we need to, we have somehow our outreach using our media, and it is time, I believe we should also embrace other media platforms that have not been preaching Biafra. So I think my coming here today is for their best interest as well. And that's what makes me a leader. So I think differently from them. So it is very important that when those are agitating that I shouldn't come here.
You see, that I'm if I nebelo. I'm if on present, even in one self protest. I didn't know when the protest. I don't surprise him. It's all end of this thing now. I didn't surprise. Obatobia, you see, oh, nothing knows Agaho. But I want Agaho. Always open a way leader. Moge Lebanine, Uchege Lebanine, and the half everything. No one I want to do this on our phones away. And I say, Patagonia away rubbish man. You see, he's a rubbish man. When is he now? After coming like this interview, how many days? He's this man just to call you out to mock you. This one to put point. Na memory no Biafra. Gente.
You know, I will explain to them later on why it is important that I'm here. And then also, I'm going to be extending my hands of fellowship and open arm to every other despised media platform. I want to be there. So, because it is the right time to talk to people who may have seen our agitation or liberation of Biafra differently, so they need to be educated. So it is important that I'm here to talk to different audience.
Thank you. Thank you so much. On my part, I also have to say that when I put out that you were coming, a lot of people felt that I shouldn't bring you here. So I have the same pressure that you have from my own people. But I think my job is to facilitate conversation across every platform, different groups. It doesn't mean that we have to only facilitate conversation with people we agreed with. All right, let's get into that. Something happened in America last Tuesday. There was an election and Trump won. I know that you are in support of Trump. And how do you feel about the outcome of that election?
Very, very happy because as a matter of fact, I was among international politicians to openly and publicly endorse Donald Trump election. So I'm happy. He needed to come and save the world.
Now, before I go in deep into that, how do you think it's going to help your quest for Biafra?
Well, the United States has a very important role to play in global peace. And what Biafra is doing today is to bring peace and restore stability in Sahel region. So I believe that it is for the interest of America, it is for the interest of the West, and then at the same time for Biafra and African interests. So I believe that the foreign policy of Donald Trump will facilitate the restoration of peace and stability in the Sahel by listening to Biafra people.
Now, there's this story that came out, I think 2 days ago, that the chief of staff of Donald Trump, incoming president, Susie Wiles, that she worked for the Biafra movement as a lobbyist in Washington, D.C. Is that true?
Well, you know, in 2019, I just joined the Biafra movement. So what I would say is that it is a good thing for the fact that we have somebody who already have idea and knowledge about the plight of the Biafra people. She may not be currently representing Biafra, but at least she have been educated.
Rejoin the whole continent, and that would be too much for them to deal with at that time. So that's why they fully supported it. But event that is happening today is as the same as what happened in the 60s, but in this time take a different phase, which is China in disguise of BRICS, why, of course, the still almighty United States. And how do you clarify that? I want you to clarify that. That's my question.
All right, thank you very much. You will never understand. And it is not everything I will explain here for you. And I'm not here to entice everybody with my speeches. Take those what are good. Take this thing you are saying now, and they call it a center for eradication of innovation and embracing Sunai. I don't know whether you are aware of that. Are you aware that they have a center to eradicate innovation? Google it now. Google Center to Eradicate Innovation in Nigeria. You're going to see they have it in Yoruba land. So you see that the ideology, the idea is not really, it is not compatible. Now you are bringing idea of developing, building something, some kind of technical center or scientist center or innovative center. While Nigeria Constitution under Islamic law, they have a center to eradicate it. So you see, it is not working, and this is what we are shouting about. So many people don't actually know this, but those of us who know, that's why we stand on our ground. That thing that is going to happen tomorrow, let it happen today. But our people must be liberated this time around. And we have the template to get Biafra out of Nigeria. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ma. Let's go to Samuel Nande here next.
Dr. Damages, I believe that history will remember you. And thank you for hosting interactive conversation among brethren. Thank you very much, sir. And I want to say a very big thank you to Ngozi, Simon Èkpá. Thank you for all that you do. I will be very direct to the point. I have just one question, like Dr. Damages has limited everyone to. In Igbo land, they say Igbo Heze. That's one thing they say. They say Igbo Adi Honotu. But I love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the sense that he was able to bring some kind of unity among Igbos. And he was able to promote the fact that that's a lie in the Igbo Heze. And that leads me to my question. This is my question, Mazi. I got to know you through Nnamdi Kanu, or I should say you came to notoriety through Nnamdi Kanu. And the thing I noticed about Nnamdi Kanu is that he has great respect for Ojukwu, for example, and from some people. But while you were speaking, while you were delivering your speech, you made a comment that you might not be inclined to listen to Nnamdi Kanu because he is incarcerated, which is true, which I believe on that comment. But you made the second comment, which is what I want you to clarify, that if Nnamdi Kanu is free, he has to come to Finland before you can sit down and listen to him. That sounded, with all due respect, a little bit out of place because if you had said that you guys will meet at a central place, United States, somewhere, just somewhere central, that would have sounded a little bit like someone who almost did there ahead of him. But to say that Nogademi is taking a Finland, there are many Igbo people that will not go well to their hearing. How do you clarify that? I want you to clarify that. That's my question.
All right, thank you very much. You will never understand.
Exactly.
And it is not everything I will explain here for you. And I'm not here to entice everybody with my speeches. Take those what are good that I have made and remove those that you feel are not good. Take the good part of me and throw away the bad part of me.
Exactly.
But the reason I made that comment, those who are in the spirit will understand me.
Exactly.
And I'm not making it for people to love me, but that is a fact. We are fighting a demonic state, a state that is ready to destroy anything and anyone in order to maintain the status quo. So I know what I'm saying, and I know why I said such thing, and I cannot explain it here for you to be happy with me. But if there are other things I'm doing that you're happy with, I believe that should be well with you. But one thing you should also know is that what you don't know is bigger than you.
All right, thank you. Let's go to Uchechukwu Nwa Jesus.
Good evening, Dr. Damages. Good evening, my Prime Minister.
Greetings.
I salute you. Oh God, I salute you. I'm saying that I am in the homeland. Somebody asked, what about that? How many people? How do you know people that voted? The people, I participated in the organizing people to vote. The people that voted, they have name, they have their home, they have their villages, and everything. And a lot of people are willing to vote.
This damage here. If this our brother na-ekwu maka ndị true vote, I would if damage chọrọ ifru ka na akụ aka nke akpụkọ ikwu ụmụ amụ osu ji eje n'abalị So now did a rubbish on as a chid. Doctor, no call to doctor. Doctor, doctor. Doctor say now why we gatrin, doctor Chichan and Gule. I war. Doctor Chichan and Gule. Cow doctor rubbish, cow doctor nonsense. Doctor Chicha, na doctor Ngwele. Or suppose one sofa. But let me tell you people something. Unu chanune we go. Biafra, nobody can. People all could Biafra. Won't hear you quenching that. Oh, yeah, and you nanta. Entre the Biafra. Nobody. A quench or could Biafra. Entre the Biafra. Ganante. I can't tackle. This is Dr. Damage. Dr. Mochichano Ngwele no Coco. I don't happy about it. I not one happy about it. But what can I make you comment? Man, order key, a mamma's order or dollar capo or dollar cube, one moose. Now I get this rubbish, ain't I?
Today, people are rushing to be voted.
Okay. No,
so any person that is asking that question is making one a mistake. And if you stay in London, you will only know about London. You don't know what we that are here are passing through. So my question now is, my Prime Minister, it was since 2021 we got to know each other. Even if you check your mail, you will still see my mails to you. And we have been following this together while I was in Lagos and all the other places. My question is now, we are going to declare on the 2nd, we that are on the ground, where and how are we going to lift our flags so that people will know that something has happened here? So that those people who are there thinking that nothing is happening here, will know that we are actually on the ground. God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much for that.
This damage. Now damage ya. When I call you, we kick this man out from this program, or you kick it out. Because only what on the corner, this man and you. Only regret if you remember this man allowed to come inside to ask this question. Or our chief of staff. Otu anya iji afọ ụzọ. Ka ọ kpọrọkwa ya bịakwa kpọkwa ndị ụchụ na ndị asị gbara ibie ka ma bịa lee nọọ ha. Sị gị nọọ situation of ọbata obie in Finland. Ya use his platform why situation ọbata obie na Finland. Ebe ọ ma the situation. Ọwụ na his evil platform. In fact, adandem banandegede. Ekwe mo mba no. What do me chicha aka amada agbanwo we kwete mu nka mba. Mba na adandem banandegede aye ekwe. Mba no. I don't possible. Oh mba no. Oh this man. Mba. We don't need him for now. No. Nane gente.